Jesus helped domestic violence, unemployment and homelessness. The Bible says, "Ask and it shall be given, and seek you will find," and one woman faith is a witness to that. If you ask Jesus to help you, when you in trouble he will, and if you seek you will find and be taken off the street, put in the shelter you and your children. And God will be there to see you in a warm home and hot meals. It had happened to a woman I know, and it could happen to you. This woman had no hope in people but had high hopes in God. For people would criticize her because of the mouth of her family, making her look like a crazy woman, but the only thing she had as a role model is that people thought Jesus was crazy, and this gave her the hope she needed. Now, Jesus can help if you are suffering depression from domestic violence, unemployment and homelessness. I know what you are going to ask me: how can Jesus help me in domestic violence, unemployment and homeless? However, I am here to tell you, Jesus can help you if you ask Him every day to help you. A woman experienced domestic violence, unemployment, and homeless, and Jesus helped her, and He will help you too. There is more that this woman suffered, but I am not going to tell it all now. Keep watching my lecture videos. Now, I heard of two women in a domestic violence. There were two women in an abusive relationship. They were mother and daughter. When the child was young, she experienced her father beating up her mother. This had left the child bitter in life and extremely scared of violence and other things. The child grew up fighting her father off her mother all her life. At times the child wanted to kill herself, and the child did make attempt to kill herself by taking a bottle of aspirin to kill herself, but she lived. Another experience the child had that she took some illegal drugs she found in the house. It was some control substance pills her drug user brother was taking, and the child took all the pills hoping she will die, but she did not die. The child tried everything in her possible will to kill herself, but she did not succeed, so there was a reason for this child to live. After so many attempts to suicide, she managed to live. Once the child reached a certain age, she was desperate to left her home, because she was exhausted from all the fights from home. So at 20 she meet a man and fell in love with him. And before she known it, she was becoming closer to this guy, because he was the most nicest guy she ever known in her life. She liked why they went out like movies, shopping malls and eating out every day. She knew this was the man for her. Surprisingly, as far as she did not know, that this man she was in love with watched his father mistreated his mother too. Now, this guy had a bad temper and was easily to get upset, but she overlooked the signs of abuse, because she felt at least it was not her father at home. 2 weeks after meeting this guy, it was time to move in with this guy. With having the opportunity to live in with this guy, she was so happy. Because first she really loved this guy, and second she was getting out her parents' house where all the fighting was between her parents. So the young lady and her boyfriend argue every day about something, but he would never hit her. He often blames the woman for everything and took all his personal problems out on her, even if it was a fight between him and someone else. He would yell at her for his problems. He screamed to the top of his head and often made her cry. Sometime her crying will last for days and night. Besides, he drank a lot, which made her very nervous at times. And she had to constantly call the ambulance or take him to the hospital, because he overdrank himself. She took him to the hospital nearly every night after work and still take to manage to go to work. Most of the time she had least than 5 hours to rest before work the next morning because of her husband's conditions and harassments. Besides, she had done all the housework and cooked for her husband.